Okay, so I think it's like 4:30, might be almost 5, I don't know. Stella woke me up at 4, but it was this kind of night where it seemed like I was awake all night. My mind was so fucking loud all night. It was like, oh my God. But then I keep having all these flashes of these weird dreams and interactions that I had during the middle of the night. And so I obviously was asleep at some points, but oh my God, last night was hellacious. Even the, what was it? Because something, I don't know, something got me up. Like, it was early in the night. And I went to go pee. Maybe I had to go pee or something. And so I got up and I came back in the tent. Stella had gotten up, got in my sleeping bag, and wouldn't move. And I was like, oh my God, the other dogs were already laying down at the end on my legs. And then she just went in and took over the whole thing. And so I was trying to get it. And she just kept laying her head down. No, no, just leave me. No, let me have it. I was like, oh my God, now what the fuck? I've got this pile of dog blankets practically that I'm so I tried to make a little place for me to sleep, and it was way colder without the sleeping bag. Just having these hairy ass blankets piled on me. And I gotta put them in the dryer or something and remove some of the hair. And I don't think they're shedding too bad, but there's always hair coming out and it gets in the stuff and it pokes and it's itchy. And then plus dander, but really they're staying in most of the time. They're in here, so, and I don't think they're super dirty, but anyways, I don't know. I was like, fuck. And so then I must have got up to go pee again at like 1 or something. I think I gave her some more medicine or something. I don't know. It's all like so foggy. But she moved out of that spot. So I grabbed my sleeping bag and got inside of that. And then I was trying to sleep, but both of my shoulders are just really hurting. I don't know if it's from the crocheting because I'm down to the last 3 things. I'll show you how big it is. I got 3 more skeins to go. But anyways, it's pretty big right now. So, and it's kind of heavy and stuff, but, and then just the crocheting, I don't know, it's like the same movement or something. I don't know if that's what's making it sore or if it's laying on the ground. But I'm not just dead ass on the ground because I still have this topper thing. Oh my God, my hair's gonna drive me crazy. God, I like it when it stays in a braid, but now it's to the point of like probably tomorrow I'll have to wash it. And always at the ends, it just gets like, I don't know, I think I spill stuff on it. Like I think things just spill on it and stuff. It gets like sticky or something. I don't know. And you know, one thing though that I noticed yesterday when we were out walking is my hair in the sunlight is so golden blonde. Like I think it has like a reddish color too. But I was thinking it's so crazy because a woman my age with this hair color, would they tell you, you know, oh no, women don't have hair color like that when they get older and stuff like that. Well, that's just not true. It's just not true. So, anyways, that's more of their lies. Oh, which, hold on, let's look at my tooth real quick. I burned my finger the other day, and now the skin is coming off. It's driving me crazy. Oh, look at that, man. And the little black hole is so, it's not like it's not like a hole anymore. It's like a dark spot that it's gonna be gone soon. Uh, um, and I was telling my mom yesterday, I swear, the more with that iron fit, because I just keep it in my teapot now all the time, and I swear, I have seen more movement with my hair with the iron thing, and but you got to remember, you got to have the iron to absorb the copper, and you have to have the iron and the copper to absorb the magnesium. It's like they all need each other. So when you're not seeing results in something, start like looking for some way to increase it. Which the muscle cramp, I got up yesterday and I took some Celtic salt, or whatever day it was I said that. I took the Celtic salt and no more muscle cramps. So, I just took like a few, I mean, I don't even think it was 1/8 of a teaspoon of it. It's just like some like the chunky kind is kind of like little balls, and so you just chew on a couple of them, and the muscle cramp stops. So it must have had enough potassium or whatever inside that to help. So I probably need to do it more regularly. Everything, my whole thing is so off right now. Everything is off. You know, all my regular routines that I would do, all my lymph and my yogas and all my stretches, and oh my gosh, everything is just so off. But I really feel like it's all a transition. But I definitely feel like I have this really, I don't know. I guess some people would put it on a level like a demonic attached spirit that won't leave me the fuck alone. But I think it's a kind of like the energy that is out there that is trying to stay alive. And I think it seems like that when things are I think there's a group of people where things are going to get positive for them. And it's kind of like the energy you've been putting out is going to come back to you. And that's what we're going to see worldwide. And so the energy that you've been putting out is going to flip back and it's going to come back to you. And so if you've been really putting energy into making change in your life, you haven't been sitting in your pity party feeling sorry for yourself, you've been actively moving in a direction that feels uncomfortable or whatever, I think that all of a sudden like a gateway will open, this portal thing will open, and it will be like you're let free, like the energy starts going in the direction that you've been pushing it towards. And so it is like there's an interference, like they are trying to block that gateway or something. And so but they can't block it, but it is like an illusion to us to get us to be off of our off of the positive thing, you know, to make you feel like, well, nothing will ever get better, it's always going to be the same and stuff. And in my case, it's like the just non-stop fuckery. I can't even believe it. Stuff being moved, things knocked out of your hand. It's just constant. And so it's just annoying. It's just like to try and keep you down or annoyed or something. And so I think that's totally going on. It's going on for me. I don't know if it's going on for other people, but god damn, it's so crazy. But I'm just keep on. I mean, there's been some days where it just feels so down, where it's like, fuck, man. What if nothing changes? What if this is what I'm stuck? What if, you know? And but then it's like you got to pull yourself back on track. No, everything, you have to lose things to get things. You have to go out of the comfort zone and go down the dark hall towards your destiny. Things have to be uncomfortable. Things, you know, one thing is too is it's like a space that it needs to be filled. So it's like the energy that you've been putting out starts to fill it, but you have to go towards it, even though it's like uncomfortable. So anyways, I think that's a part of like the spiritual battle like we're in. And one thing now, so this keeps coming in my head. So this is where I'm gonna start out. Is so now the tapes are out on, or there's more stuff out on JFK stuff. And so yesterday I had heard, and I guess Alex Jones had been putting some stuff out there for a while. And this is all part of the show. This is the thing. It's all part of the show. Because I heard somebody saying, yeah, they say like the far right conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. And he gets labeled like, oh, there's a ton of us that have been labeled like this. And but he's like a public figure labeled like that. And so people don't listen to him. But we all have, our groups of people that look at us the same way and don't listen to what we have to say. Even my mom yesterday said something. Because I said something like, don't forget, we're being run by vampires and reptilians. And she just like, stop. And she's like, well, I don't know about that. Some of the stuff you say is so extreme. And I'm like, well, I don't know. You'll see. You'll see. It's all going to come out. And you're going to be like, oh my God. She wasn't extreme. She was telling the truth the whole time. And then she goes, well, I mean, I'm going to be raptured, so I'm probably not going to see that part. And I said, well, if you do, and then you'll know what I'm talking about, because it's truth. We are being run by these ancient beings that have been here a long time. The 13 original families, probably the fucking same original people. They just switched bodies, motherfucking vampires and reptilians and stuff. So, anyways, but so the far right extremists, we're always talking to them crazy talk, and but it's like soften the blow kind of to the public, to kind of pull it into like, it wasn't they weren't extremists, right? They were telling the truth the whole time. You just couldn't listen, because remember, this is to break down our biases. And so it's going to hit in those kind of places. And so this is to me kind of like to show the public, there's going to be public things that are going to go. And so, I guess he had just released these tapes even like a week ago or something. See, that shit's on purpose, man. And so, and yesterday what I heard was that, so the council, if you remember what, these council of men, they had decided that they needed to get in a war with Cuba. They needed to take down Fidel. And it's just so weird, and all of these twists and turns, because Justin Trudeau and his ties, and just compare the pictures and his mom's long affair with, like he's related. I don't know what they do, throw him a bone here. You can take Canada. I don't know. It's all so weird. All these people are so fucking weird. And what they'll do for money. They're a bunch of fucking, they're skanky. So, anyways, the council had decided that they needed to start this war with them, but I guess they weren't jumping through the hoops to do this, so they had to convince us, the American people, that we needed to do this. And I remember this was during the Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff, like there was a whole thing. This is probably at the time when they were making us go under our desks. And let me think, because he was killed, was it 61 or 63? I think it was 63, or was it 65? I don't know. It was really tiny when he was killed. And so when I was in school, he wasn't the president, but we were going under our desks. So that must have been because they had to get rid of him because he wouldn't do it. So they had decided to attack, the same thing they did with the towers. This is what they do. They've been doing it fucking all along. And there's lots of like older people that can't, can't accept this information, like no way, but then it's all coming out. And so it's this flipping of realities. So so they decided to attack us in the name of Cuba. So kind of like what they're doing now. It's like their same game plan. They do it all the time. This is their game. And once you see through it, it's hard to miss it. And so so they had decided to attack us, and all this. They had a whole big plan, all sorts of stuff apparently. And they sent the proposal to him, and he rejected it. And so then LBJ, which I just can't even believe, like they named that fucking freeway I was there freeway through Dallas forever. The 635, the Lyndon B. Johnson freeway. It's like, this motherfucker, these fucking holidays, these fucking freeways, these motherfucking, goddamn. And we thought George Floyd was outrageous. They've been fucking doing it the whole motherfucking time. Like, we're all out there, oh, yes, yes, the greatest people in the world are fucking scumbags, man. They are the scum. Fucking sellout pieces of shit, man. It's like, fucking hell. They get us these false fucking idols, man. Put them in the history books, telling us they're the fucking saints. Like, it's such, god damn, such bullshit. So, anyways, so you gotta just be letting go, like, oh, because yesterday, oh my god. Sometimes it's shocking. It's shocking. You say something, you know, and then the reaction is like, what? And so I had said, because now they're pushing more on this Jennifer and Barack affair. And then some of the people were some people were showing that some of the people, I've never seen anything about this. You're making this up and stuff. It's like, oh, I've seen this keep popping back up. And they keep trying to make like Michelle and this is a serious thing and they're going to get divorced over this thing. So, and she's not showing up at the stuff. And now, I don't know, there's some kind of thing about she's at the get, which, you know, for sure. Like, I think that they were gone a long time ago. I think they were got in like 2021 or something. And these are like people in masks and shit, or clones or lookalikes. Because the one playing Hillary, she had been a stand-in for a long time. Like, she was a lookalike who, I don't know if they just send them to luncheons they don't want to go to, or what the fuck goes on with these weird people. So, anyways, let me think what it was I was gonna say. Maybe it'll come back to me in a second, because it's kind of getting me lost. Okay, because the LBJ, oh yeah, okay, because I had said something about, oh my God, so, something about Barack being gay and Michelle being, Barack being gay. I don't remember what video it was, but oh my God, these people started saying, calling me a liar. You're just making that up. Oh my God, you're just looking for views. I can't believe. And I would go in and check their accounts. These are real people. And they were freaking the fuck out. This one was just woodpecker all day long, like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, go, let's go. I said, it's really crazy how you will attack somebody and not even go look it up. Not even go look it up, but you're going to sit here and call me names, call me a liar and stuff. It's like, it is so crazy. But that's how attached people are to some of these people, where you got to be letting go. Because, I mean, there's a whole group of people now saying Jennifer Aniston's a dude. That's why they're having an affair. It's like, at this point, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, but that's what they sell us. America's sweetheart is a dude. Like, so, you know, I just got to go with the flow. This is an eye-opening experience. And it just shows you how closed your eyes were for so long. And then you got to ask yourself, why? Why was I only seeing what I wanted to see? Which brings up to me my daughter yesterday, the older one, who it's her son's birthday, who is this blanket for her. And anyway, she talks to me. And so she messages me yesterday and she says, because the sisters, you know, they all have their own group chat. And so the older sister, she has been more conservative than them for a long time. And so she's always kind of more on the outskirts of their conversations. And so she said, I'm not saying anything in their conversation, but it's pretty extreme what they think. I can't even remember what she said. And I said, well, that's the thing, is that all these people who are thinking this way, they don't have the full picture. They only see a little part of the picture because they don't believe, it's this complete confirmation bias, and only talking to people you agree with and thinking everybody else is stupid. See, it's their own stuff. They have to get over their own ego, their own biases, because if they were willing to listen to more people, they would get a bigger picture and they would understand more of what's going on. And right now, it's so much different. So many people don't see what's going on. And so it's all a part of this awakening, and it's all these different levels. And so, I mean, because there's so many people. I did a short video because it was really getting me yesterday, was how many people think, okay, Donald's in, so he's coming to, and if you say anything about the government now, it's like, how dare you? How dare you? Our saint is here and you are a fucking bitch. And it's like, oh my God, like, Jesus Christ, people. This is the time we're just getting started on the fight. Like, this is going to be where there's going to be class out. He's exposing the truth, which we haven't got to have before. Just like in the past, like what's coming out. If somebody wanted to expose the truth, they took them out. LBJ was a psychopath. When I was up there talking to my mom, she was telling me a bunch of stuff. They even had decided he was certifiable, and they let him run this shit. And he, the tapes have come out now of him talking about ordering, that the ending of JFK. So I mean, he's just so nonchalant, and then just like the way he goes up to Jack, it's like, oh my God, that guy's such a piece of shit, man. I'm driving on his fucking road. God damn. No wonder that is a road where it got all icy and I started sliding off because there's bad energy on that road, man. Like, I bet you some of these roads, that's why there's wrecks and shit that goes on. It's a fucking bad energy. And they've built things over slaughters and, which there's a whole fucking drama going on over Google Maps right now because people just go and look on Google Maps all the time. But this is weird. And so they're all going in and looking. And so you can go in and look. It's over by Los Angeles Police Department, which is right next to a train station. And so you go under this freeway over to these mountains right here. So the train station's over here. And it's ones that have all the cart things, the things that we look at. And then the station is somewhere around there too. And then you go under the freeway, and over there's like mountains and hills and shit. Well, in this one, it has help carved all over the place. Tons and tons of help. Something about LAPD, something about traffic situation. So now everybody's like, what the fuck? And so no telling. There's just absolutely no telling. It's just so creepy that we have people who are literally involved with this stuff that are out to protect and serve. Protect and serve up the people to the fucking criminals, man. It's so insane. They're here to protect the criminals. They're here to serve us up to the criminals. So, anyways, a lot of them become criminals. So, anyways, there's more shenanigans, more shit coming out. It's just going to keep being non-stop. But that's the thing is, like, Donald isn't here to save us. He's not here to fix it for us. He's here to show us so that we are sparked into fixing it for ourselves. He can't go and fix all these billions of people's lives. He sets a tone. He's a light bearer. He's a new pathway. And he is bringing light to a pathway. But when you go on the pathway, you ride that energy, but you also have to take steps. You can't just suckle onto some other energy, and that is vampiric. That is you can't depend on a savior to come in and fix everything for you. That's vampiric. That is an energy stealer. this dependency. And then when you feel dependent, like, well, he'll fix it, then you got to be seeing that he that that is a toxic entanglement. It's like it's a dependency, and either way that it forms is where you got to question yourself, because no dependency like that is healthy. I'm telling you, everything that we are evolving into right now is sovereign beings that love themselves and love everyone, and have an idea of the energy they put out comes back to them and how to direct their own energy. That isn't about changing the whole fucking game, getting up and seeing like, oh, I'm changing this matrix today and all that. That is, and sometimes this place feels so like, God damn, this matrix game, just get me the fuck out of it, man. But we can't just tap out because it's a hard day. It's just you're in for the ride. You got to take the ride as it comes, and you can have a long ride ahead of you, and I don't know. This rapture thing could be, a bunch of people are going to leave at this certain point. That could very well be, and it could be that they feel it in their hearts. Well, I'm out. I'm leaving. Me and a bunch of people are going. I don't know. It could be. So, you got to follow your own instincts. But then you can also, be learning that you're not listening to the right voice inside of you. So there's a lot of stuff that is going to be playing out. That's going to be teaching people. And that is what I was trying to tell my daughter, is that, man, my nose is so raw. I just like, man, you live one poison, go into another one. And I think that not sleeping last night was this intense energy, though. And that, I don't know, there's something that they're saying is coming to, like there's a planet or something. I don't know, like that movie Armageddon or whatever it was. Oh, we're about to collide with this other planet. It's 10 times our size. It's going to kill us all. So I don't know what the fuck. They're constantly doing stuff in the sky. And I think that part of it is trying to hide stuff. Last night when we went out, it was pretty early, but it was really dark, and there was a lot of stuff up there. There's a lot of the nights I don't see anything up there, but last night there was a ton. There was so much, which, all the increasing and stuff has got to be a part of this, I don't know, this phenomena that's going to happen or something. So, but I had told my daughter that all of this stuff is so people realize like their own biases, and they have to heal it, their own judgment and their own egotistical way of looking at stuff. And so that is what is gonna, man, my stomach is growling like crazy. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, maybe I should fast today or something, because I swear to God, my mom's trying to fatten me up or something. She's constantly cooking now, constantly. Oh, yesterday Belgian waffles, and then last night she made these great ass sandwiches. They were so good. Mine was barbecued mushrooms with cheese, and I had peppers and onions and stuff. Oh, it was so good. But I'm eating later than I would. It's just changing, everything. I don't know. It's just so weird, because I bitched about patterns and stuff before, but then you start seeing like, oh, you do develop your own patterns, and then when it all starts breaking down, it's like, oh my gosh. And like right now, I don't know, it's just hard to really get, I don't know, it's like limited space, but you see, you got to show yourself always what you're made of. And so, yeah, you can look at all of the obstacles, or you can just figure out how to make it work. But anyways, there is things like that I did a lot more of, was a lot better at doing than once I came over here. Now with the food, because now it's like, now I keep feeling like I'm starving. She keeps making all this food, and so I don't know. That's just me just saying stuff. So, anyways, but that is all I've been saying this for years and years and years. All these people who don't see, I keep having so much hair in my mouth. I'm telling you, I swear to God, it's like, I don't know. I swear to God, it's like having a man in black just following you around and fucking with you. That's what it feels like. And so, anyways, but I've been saying for so long about it's the people's biases. They don't hear what other people say, so they don't get the whole story. There's a reason that it is, when you put two and two together, it's because we're supposed to learn how to communicate with each other, learn from each other, and not be judgmental on each other. That's the learning to love everyone. And so that is a part of our evolution, is to go into that kind of energy more. And so the things that people are having to heal is that kind of stuff of going and putting down their own egos, being able to, willing to listen to people who they don't agree with. And, because when you listen to people you don't agree with, they'll plant seeds, or sometimes you find like, oh, well, I do agree with them on this. I agree with them on this. And there's a lot of this stuff where, yeah, they have like the same things that they want, but they won't talk about it. And so they all just think. And then you got the one side who, they're Team Jesus. So they are so in their ego. They think that they're the ones that are right about everything. So that's why I was saying there's going to be a huge ego disaster. Like, yeah, it's like, you see it like those big giant icebergs going and flipping. Is what some of these egos are going to be like. These giant icebergs flipping over. And, oh yeah, because when the iceberg flip, because when it's up above, it looks all nice and shiny and pretty. But then when it flips over, all the muck and the dark and then all that debris flips up, and it becomes up into the light. That is what is going to be. That's what's about to go down. And that is that time of reflection. That's the time of mirrors that I think the Hopi talked about, or whatever. Because when your iceberg flips and the parts of you that you don't like come up, those are the parts you have to heal. And those are the parts that you feel so exposed. And especially because a lot of the people are very superficial and stuff. They like that shiny side looking. They like to keep the shine going. And then all of a sudden, all of the darkness is exposed. And it's going to feel like very naked in front of everybody. It's going to feel very much like I'm so exposed. Everybody knows I'm such a rotten person. And that is where you can get yourself stuck in shame, regret, guilt. You got to move through it. And, which is driving me crazy too. My brother just getting sicker and sicker, and it's just like, man, you just gotta let go of stuff too. And I've tried to go and see him when he's asleep and try and tell him stuff, but weirdly enough, my mom was talking something about that. I said, well, if you want to communicate with somebody who's resistant, you gotta go into their dreams. You gotta go talk to them in their dreams, like a meditation. You got to go and take yourself to them and talk to them, and everything. I'm so crazy, but Mom said, that's so weird you said that. And I said, why? And she said, because Jared just told, my youngest brother just told me that he asked my sick brother if I had been coming and talking to him in his dreams. And that my brother, who he started laughing and said, no. But see, he's the one that has always been so resistant to anything after this. He's very, very, like he was very, like I would try to say stuff and he'd be like, Stephen Hawking says blah, blah, blah and stuff. He was very much believed in all of those people that they were putting out there. And he, was on that whole thing of like, there's nothing to us. We're just an accident, just out swimming around in the globe, out spinning in space and stuff like that. And I'd always be, yeah, but can't you feel? Can't you feel your soul? Don't you feel like you're something more? And, I just get laughed at and stuff like that. So he doesn't really believe in the metaphysical or supernatural or anything. Even when we lived in haunted houses together, it's like he is somebody who just tries to explain stuff. But there was, because he always did horror movies, and there was one where he said there was like some really weird shit that was going on, and on the thing. So I think he kind of thinks like, but he doesn't realize like, no, this is real. It's not like weird or superstition or anything like that. That's our real life, and everything that you can't experience in that is because you are disconnected. And when you try and get people to connect, see, they can't, because they have their life patterns set out for them. Their life journey is what they're here to learn about. And you don't know what everybody's lessons are. You just have no idea. You don't know all of the weird shit playing out, what their different contracts, or however you want to look at it, the different interactions, the different transits that you are to interact and to pass by each other and learn from each other. So there is, there's a whole other thing happening that most people don't even have the awareness of. Like, most people don't even have the awareness that they are orbs. Like, they literally think that they're this body, and that they hope that something of this body lives on. It's like, this body is an illusion, and you just go from body to body to body. You aren't anchored in. Like, you feel you're so anchored into the character that's created here. But I think that is a big part of this evolution of letting go of the character that you think you are, and figuring out who you really are. It's like a journey to self, and it's a breakdown of all of the matrix vibes, and the person that you try to create, to try and shine up your iceberg so it'll look good, so nobody can see the nastiness underneath. But this is that time where the nastiness has to be seen, it has to be revealed, and you can't get too caught up in thinking about what everybody else is thinking about it. That's just a waste of time. You gotta put it in perspective too. This is a perspective that I tried to really get across to other kids after me, because I realized it through my own life. But kids go to school being all insecure. I mean, they don't realize that every other kid is feeling the same way as you. You're all feeling that same insecurity. And so, when we can all see like we're all feeling the same way, then it kind of lessens the blow. So when you are going through this and you're feeling totally exposed for the dark, nasty sides of yourself that you thought were hidden down, that you don't even know for sure why they're there, and it's from pain and trauma, and it's from multiple different lives and different things you've gone through. But when that part is being seen by others and you feel really embarrassed and humiliated, that's a part of it. Like, you got to process through it. You can't ignore it. You don't want to ignore things. You don't want to ignore your emotions. You want to process them. You want to try and understand them, understand where they come from, understand why you are the way you are. It's because then you have more control over the direction that you follow, that you lead yourself. And so the but when you get to that point of feeling super exposed, just remember that's how everybody's feeling. Everybody's parts are exposed, and everybody is having to deal with these sides of themselves. So don't get too hung up on, Uncle Joe thinks, I'm this, and Aunt Pat thinks I'm this, and Cousin Sue thinks I'm this, or whatever. Don't get caught up in how other people view you, because that's a part of the toxic problem. You got to start figuring out how you view you. and what it is that you want to develop into and how you want to develop yourself. And so it's you rediscovering yourself. And that's why, to me, it's like this I swear to God, it just seems so much like, like I was this goofy kid in school, and then all of the things that happen that start making you super insecure and stuff. And so you start kind of trying to hide sides of yourself or whatever. You start trying to become acceptable by others or whatever. And so you start feeling shame about different parts of yourself, and you start trying to hide parts of yourself. And then so to me, it's this conversion of the love and hate for self that you're really working on. And so the more that you can learn to love the parts of you that you hate, then the more that transmutes that energy. It turns it into something positive when you start realizing like these things are all to teach you, and you're learning, you're growing, and it's like this reconnection to this person you were born into, the person you were born to be, the person that you came into this world to be. And then you got influenced by others and got lost. And then all of a sudden, it's like you get this opportunity to really start seeing yourself and understanding yourself and reconnecting with yourself. And when you reconnect with yourself, it's like it's that inner child thing or something. You reconnect with yourself and you go back to being who you were. And you go back to learning how to accept the person you were instead of trying to change the person you were. And so to me, it's like this reunion to yourself, and learning how to love yourself and accept yourself. And then seeing through the process of that, which takes time because you have to go through your wounds and all of the things that have made you feel damaged so that you can accept it, so you can love yourself through it. And that is like why inner child work can be helpful, because then you can go in and see yourself as a child, and you can go in and be the adult and be there for the child, and it change the experience. But there's all different ways, to heal your wounds. And there's all sorts of books, there's self-help books all over the place, which I think self-help books are better than because counselors, dentists, doctors, nurses, everybody was trained to make us worse, to keep us sick, I think psychology is developing a bunch of isolated victims. Poor me, I was abused, I've got issues, never once stopping and thinking, oh, well, my parent had issues, and their parents had issues, and their parents had issues. And maybe we all need to work together to figure out how to stop making issues for the next generations. And so, but instead that they are trying to create this isolation and poor you've been treated so bad. We've all been treated bad. That's a part of the journey. And we're at this time in the journey where we all put down our swords and we all put down our shields, and we all start holding hands and singing Kumbaya together. We start realizing our power is stronger when we're together. And that was something I kept trying to tell people yesterday and stuff, like united we stand and stuff. This is the time that we stand up. This is the time that we say what's right and wrong for us. We don't just go into this total compliancy of and I knew that Donald was going to be pushing, because there is such a heavy compliance savior issue with him, and I knew it was going to be pushing on things to be like, well, that's wrong. And so you have the group over there who are like, that's wrong, what he's doing is so wrong. And then you have the people over here, well, he's doing what he's going to do. And so they would just blindly follow whatever he does. But he's a catalyst. He's going to be pushing you to have to think of things for your own self and your own moral issues and stuff. And you got to question it. So some of this stuff that's going to play out is to try and push people to not be blind followers, to be able to be like, oh, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Because the more that we say, well, we don't agree with this or that, and the more that we all come together, the more we build community. Because the more we're like, well, we don't agree with that either. Let's all build a community. And that is what he is leading. That is what his torch is going to be carrying, is showing us the direction to go to start building our own communities and the things that we want. He's going to open doors for us. Doors that have been trying to be hidden by curtains by these other beings. And he's going to be opening the doors. He is going to be changing the justice system and the judicial so that we have the rights to stand up for ourselves. We have the rights to make choices. We can't just go in and sit back and just become, American citizens. It is, you have to see through the whole citizenship kind of phenomena when it takes you out of your main culture and it creates subcultures in which, we're going to have a bunch of subcultures, but we need to still focus on we're all earthlings. We're all earthlings. And so nobody has the right to tell us. Like if I all of a sudden say, hey, I'm tired of living over here, I want to go live in Africa, and that's where I want to go, then I have the right as an earthling. Like, this is my playground, and that is our God-given rights. And this is the thing, is like, people don't realize that we have God-given rights, the God's laws. Those are the only laws that you need to worry about. All the other stuff that they've created is all man's laws, man's game rules and shit. It's like they change the rules of the game, and then, we take a knee to it. We submit to it because we don't want consequences. And they're willing to hand out consequences right and left. And so we have to stand up for ourselves at that point and say, no, you can't tell us anymore. And it's going to be on all different levels. There's going to be some people are going to really take that home and really carry the torch and show people the way. And then there's going to be other people who, it will be on all levels. Everything of all levels of change will occur. And there will definitely be some people who will be out there who are going to be a movement. And it's not like to overshadow him or anything. He is like he's the torch bringer. He's the one that opens up the path. But think about a tree. Then the tree is growing and it's going like this. It branches out. It begins to develop branches. That is the tree of life. That is how things branch out. So a direction is being led. And he is taking us in this direction because we have been so subdued. We've been so contained. We've been so restricted and confused. And so he's changing that direction. And he's moving us in this new direction. But there will be all these branches that will come from that. It will be creating the new world. And so there's going to be a lot of people who are going to come in and lead us in different directions of, different directions of community and stuff, different directions of, I'm not sure. Like, there could be certain places that will be making cars and other places that are focused on energy. So if people want to work in those jobs, but there's going to be such a big push on independence. You're your collateral. What gifts do you have that you can, go out and market yourself to be able to be your own, your own collateral, your own worker. Work for yourself and stuff. There's gonna be so much more of that, and so much more with creative jobs and stuff. Not so much of just this corporate industry, this emptiness. It's gonna be a lot more fulfilling in the world. A lot more people following their dreams and taking steps to, be leaders and stuff. And so, but we're gonna be going in a lot of directions. That's the thing. We're not all just going to be riding the tails of Donald this whole way. But see, they've got to get people, because people just latched onto that. No, he's going to save us. He's going to save us. They latched onto that. And that which drags down the energy. And see, it creates division and stuff. And, but anyways, that's how I see some of this stuff. It's going to be, you know, extreme. And another thing, too, is I was thinking, I bet you that we still have two sides at play. We have the military, who is under him, but we still have the corporation. And so they can still be trying to interfere. Like, I think some of these three-letter agencies are the corporation, and they aren't military. So the ICE can very much be, you know, a corporation trying to interfere and going in and causing disruption and stuff to try and make it look like he's doing it. And really, he's doing military. I mean, for all we know, we can have these two divisions that we consider the same government going at each other. That could happen in some places and stuff. Like, there's some weird shit that supposedly was going on in LA yesterday. I saw a guy live, and there was police cars and everything, and I don't know if it was an arena or something, and a bomb went off or something. I'm not sure. But there's going to keep being all this crazy shit. There was tons and tons of protests. There's tons of movement in the direction that we want to go, especially when you see like all of these people out and stuff. That is this movement of the people as the energy is moving in our direction. And the more that we stand up for ourselves and say what we believe in and what we don't believe in, see, the blue people, they have got their own beliefs, but they just don't know that this guy is really trying to assist us. He's not trying to save us. He's trying to assist us. He's trying to give us a way to help ourselves. And so they think that he's working against us. He's trying to do all this stuff. No, it's not how I see it at all. But then, but see, they all have this virtuous way, you know, wanting nobody to feel bad. They want to help people and stuff like that. And so many of them have been damaged in some way, and that is their reaction, is wanting to help others and not wanting people to feel bad and help them, you know, because the government isn't helping and stuff like that. So they have, their hearts are in the right place. Whereas some of these other people who think they're Team Jesus, they're very much in their ego and very much in a kind of a very hateful distance of, you know, a hierarchy. And so, you know, there's a lot of fucking mountains that are about to fall. A lot of, you know, foundations are about to give out from under people's feet. There's a lot of stuff that's about to change. And that is like the earthquakes and the volcanoes, things blowing up, things going out from under you, things burning up, things freezing out. Like, all those things are micro, macro representations of what we're really going through. And so there is going to be so much abrupt change. And so they just keep going hard in on the disclosure stuff. And all of that stuff really is, you know. Oh, and it was so funny, too, is when I'd said that about Michelle. So then I was like, the reaction I was getting, I was like, what? That's so weird. That, you know, when you know something, you just assume other people know it. But then they come and they start saying you're making it up, you're lying. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much footage out there. But then, you know, the people aren't even going and looking, because it takes, you know, a quick second to go look, and you see like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because when I had first heard it, I was like, what? This is just crazy. Michelle's a man. Like, they've been telling us that she's like this real, you know, like she was the woman for us all to want to be. That was what they were pushing when she first became the first lady. She was like the center of it all. Oh, she was the fashion. She was the oh, everything. You know, we all needed to aspire to be fucking Michelle Obama. And now, it's like, God. So, but there's a huge amount of people who still don't know. And, I mean, it's so obvious when people don't know that they don't look, because if they looked, they wouldn't be having the conversation. And you know that because you've already looked. So you've gone and you've looked and you've seen, and you know the information's out there. And then the people who just whine and cry about it and don't even go look, they're so obvious. It's like you're just sitting here arguing with me and not even going and looking at something. You're much more comfortable ridiculing people and putting them down and calling them liars and stuff like that than you are to go and look stuff up. It's so crazy. Which I just looked up the migration of the geese. Is that the geese thing is, to me, it seems crazy. Like, and it's so fucking loud. Yesterday, all of a sudden, they all went quiet. And we were walking, I was like, that's weird. What are they doing? Are they all just going to sleep together? Like, what's happening? And then it just starts back up. So many. But, so I looked it up. What's the migration pattern? And it says September to October is when they leave. And I can't remember, but I swear to God, I was I was already talking about the geese are off. Something's off on the geese. Something's wrong. And so, but the return is April to June. This is January. So, yeah, the stuff is off. And in that Mount St. Helens movie that I was watching, it said that the vibration from the volcanoes and the earthquakes and stuff puts out this thing that sets all the animals into confusion. And so that can be a part of it too, with all this extreme stuff. The chemicals in the sky can be a part of it. The frequency stuff can be a part of it. And the weird storms that they're creating, it could be a part of it, you know. I don't know, but yeah, the geese shouldn't be up here in, and they're on a frozen lake too. Like, I thought they were leaving to go down and be away from all of the frozen stuff, but they're up here on this frozen lake. Not the whole thing's not frozen, but this little peninsula island thing or something they're on. So, and it just looks like this ice thing, like a bunch of penguins or something. I don't know, but anyways, that's off. It just seems like so many things are off, and there keeps being this weird as fuck smell outside when I go outside, and I feel like it makes me feel sick. And then the sounds, oh my gosh, the sounds are crazy. And the sounds in the sky, and I'll be looking and looking, and there's nothing. There's nothing. You can't see a plane, you can't see a helicopter, nothing. It's like, what is making this noise? Where is the thing that is making this noise? Like, it's the weirdest stuff. And there's just so many weird things in the sky. Like, the other day when I was going to go download, it was real overcast and foggy. But when it goes over a certain thing over the sun, you can see it's a lens. It's so fucking crystal clear that it's a goddamn lens, and it's white. And I don't think that they're putting the orange stuff in the sky to create the illusion of the orange sun or something. But I think that orange stuff in the sky gets people to not question that the sun is white and it is a heat beam that they're fucking cooking us with. I can't believe it too, you know, when the sky's so clear and that thing is out, it is blinding. It's like it's like a weapon up there, fucking attacking your eyes, attacking, and it's so fucking hot. But that is when I go walk, because the temperatures here are cold as fuck. It's like in the teens and the 20s, and it will go into the 30s for like an hour or two of the day, and go 32 or 31. But most of the day it's like 23 to 25, and then the whole beginning of the day is like 18, 17, 15, 16, 12. So most of the day is really cold as fuck here. And then when the sun comes out and it's like right over us, that's when we usually go for a walk. Under the sun, it's hot. Like, then I start feeling like, fuck, I'm sweating out here with all these clothes on, and this coat and everything, trying to wrangle the dogs, because Stella wants to, I don't know, she wants to run the neighborhood. That's all she wants. She just wants to run. She wants her own pride, and I keep telling her, we're going to get you your own pride. I'm going to get you your own barn. I'm going to get you your own animals to run a rule and run around and take care of and protect. And that is my manifest, you know, that's my intention, is going towards this. You know, I want to live like on a, not like just a farm or something, but I want to have a place where I have land where my dogs can be out running around and I can have other animals, because I think that, I don't know how things are going to go, but I think that it is, that we should have our own stuff, our own eggs and stuff. And the way they're driving the price up on eggs right now, stuff like that. And oh yeah, and I saw the Amish. They're trying to get involved, and I don't know if this was a fake video. It seemed real, and they were trying to reach out to Donald, but he said something about working with the Amish, and then the Amish are like, hell yeah, we want to work with him, and they want to go and teach people how to put up these big barns and how to build things for ourselves. So, and see, and what did I say? I've said that way back in 2020 when I very first started this. I was talking about the Amish and all the stuff they can do and that we can't do and stuff. So that is, yeah, they want to help teach us how to be able to do these things, because we're going to be going in to build these new communities. And there's a whole thing over in North Carolina now where they're saying like, oh, there's nobody getting apartments. That's all a big lie. And I don't know, I don't know. I heard him say that we're going to build back communities. We're going to build back bigger houses. The houses are going to be bigger and better. But I still know that there's something about the land and safety. And then there still is a spiritual aspect of, you can't get another soul to be off of their thing, or you create a karmic entanglement kind of thing. So you have to let people figure stuff out for themselves. You have to let them, live what they came here to live and follow their own instincts. And if their instincts led them wrong, that's for them to realize in their life review, so that they learn it, they grow from it and stuff. Not just, hang on to somebody else because they'll tell you what to do, because then, it becomes their problem, it becomes their karmic debt. And so it is, this is why it's this wave of freedom, a wave of taking responsibility for yourself, facing your consequences, and going with the flow, and letting things play out the way they're supposed to play out. But it's a big thing about, facing yourself. Everything's about facing yourself. And it is so much like that iceberg, where it is like the yucky parts of you that everybody tries to keep them hidden, but they're going to be exposed. This is their icebergs flipping, and they're going to expose all of these sides of themselves that they don't want to see. And it's so crazy, because I think most of us can see that the people that this is going to be happening to, and it's kind of weird. It's like watching a disaster about to occur, because you don't know how they're all going to be affected and how they're all going to get through it, and how there's going to be so much that people are going to be having to heal all at once. And but that is where we all have to come together, and really witness ourselves, of being like, this is a human condition that we're healing. It's not something where you're worse than everybody else and you're garbage and everybody's better than you and stuff. That's programming. And so much of stuff that you have to heal is that you have to heal programming. You have to let go of programming. You have to question programming. You have to question why it is you think the way you think, why it is that you do the things you do and stuff. And that is how you start break on through to the other side, and get out of this controlled matrix mechanism of your mind, and start moving into the freedom of free will and stuff. And so, but that is this evolution into, the earthling, and realizing like we have free range, and them trying to tell us anything other is wrong. And there is certain laws that we have to abide by. What you put out comes back to you and stuff. Those kinds of things. We're going into like God's law, the heavens laws and stuff, not being run by man's laws. But so many people are so constricted and dependent on man's laws and man's views, and what man's desires and stuff. And so, you got to break free from all of those things and let go of them, and get comfortable being self-identifying. You don't need a group to be out there to say you're okay. You can just say it for yourself and know it for yourself, even if everybody else is looking at you like you're a wacko, that you are like, well, I know I'm not a wacko, even if they don't. So, but that is a part of this whole healing thing too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's about to play out, and I don't know, still how or what's going to go down. It still is like, man, they've got a lot of stuff going. They got fires going towards nuclear things. They've got explosions. They've got fights. They've got protest. Like, there's a lot. There's just a lot of stuff going. And anything can go at any time, and different things can go in different places. And so, you just got to just go with the flow and be aware and put out what it is that you want back, man. That's important. Like, be the person that you want to interact with. Don't be vindictive and hateful and I can't wait to tell someone I think they're stupid today. Be gentle and realize, like, everybody feels bad about themselves, man. Everybody is just, like, there's so many people just hate themselves, and they're trying to cover it up by shining the outside up and looking good, but they really hate themselves on the inside. And so all of the stuff has got to be exposed, because you got to heal those wounds. You can't just carry on as an orb. It's hating yourself. You got to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to love yourself and to love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So that's what I've got to say about it. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Well, you won't. I'll talk to you tomorrow, but you won't see it for a couple days. But you'll see this today. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.